Sivat Garma, and over the last 21 years or so, I've specialized in the marketing and promotion of high ticket products and programs. And today I'm with Mark Yates, who's a LinkedIn expert. Tell me more about yourself, Mark.
Hi Des, my name is Mark D. Yates. For 25 years I managed, trained, deployed and commanded special force units. Part of my background involved bringing together connections from lots of different countries around the world. So I've worked in 44 countries. I utilised those skills and that expertise to pull together a global consultancy group to help business owners leverage their profiles on LinkedIn. And I incorporate lots of those special force tactics to help business owners leverage and monetize LinkedIn.
And the reason I'm talking with Mark today is really to get to understand how to get more out of LinkedIn. So Mark, what would you say are the top 3 benefits of using LinkedIn?
Well, the top 3, there's quite a number of them, but the top 3 I would say first and foremost is one that most people on LinkedIn, from LinkedIn's 400 million people, don't actually know about, and that's how to monetize LinkedIn. It's within everybody's capability to monetize LinkedIn. The next thing that LinkedIn is extremely valuable for is for establishing your credibility and your professionalism in order to be able to go out and focus on the third aspect, which is to build a fantastic database of business decision-making connections. So I'd say they're probably the 3 top things, Des.
Okay. Now, for most of us, LinkedIn is a bit of a minefield. I understand there are over 400 million members and registered users on there. And with so many search options, most of us kind of struggle to kind of find our way around LinkedIn. What would you say to someone who's new to the website or possibly has, say, just 50 or 100 connections on LinkedIn? What would you say are the most important things for them to do to get more out of LinkedIn?
Okay, probably the biggest thing that most people tend to focus on LinkedIn is to try and build their connection base. And the vast majority of people on LinkedIn tend to go for volume, for quantity. When in fact really what they should be looking at is, yes, you need to build a large established network, but your emphasis right in the early days should be on quality of connections and not on quantity. So far better to have 100 connections, of which 95% of them are senior business decision makers, than having 10,000 connections, of which many of them are not business decision makers. So that's probably one area where I would say that people should pay very careful attention at the beginning.
So quality, not quantity.
Absolutely. And if you get quality, what most people don't realize is that quantity will automatically follow. If you can establish yourself as 100% professional, 100% credible, and you write and develop your LinkedIn profile so that it inspires confidence in people that you don't know, then what will happen is people will automatically start to talent spot you, and they will find your profile, they'll search for you, you will come up in the search engine rankings, and then automatically by default quantity will follow. For example, 4,000 to 5,000 people every week are trying to connect with me on LinkedIn. That's with me doing absolutely nothing to generate that kind of activity. And that's purely because I've invested serious amounts of time, effort and energy at the front end over several years to establish myself as 100% professional, 100% credible, and structure my entire LinkedIn profile exactly around those elements.
Okay, that's good. And I understand you've built up quite a large network of 30,000 connections and contacts on LinkedIn. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about that journey, Mark.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, most people don't realize that you can have up to 30,000 first level connections. And LinkedIn works on a 3-level structure. First level connections. So you and I connect, you become my first level connection. If you are connected to your wife on LinkedIn and I'm not, she becomes my second level connection. And if your wife is connected to somebody else in her business, that person becomes my third level connection. So my connection base of first level connections is at the maximum of 30,000, which gives me a total spread of about 39.5 million second and third level connections, which might seem to most people watching this video to seem incredible almost, and what can you do with that? Well, as an individual, you can't do too much with 30,000 connections, but once we take you out of an individual mindset and put you in a business growth mindset, well, all of a sudden 30,000 connections, which in turn leads to 39 plus million second and third level connections, all of who you can reach within the LinkedIn platform without leaving it, becomes a very, very valuable asset. It was difficult. It's really difficult and time consuming at the beginning because nobody really wants to advise you or mentor you when you start off on LinkedIn, and it's almost like you describe it as a minefield.
Sure.
It's very much like a minefield, and the added kind of negative factor is that you enter that minefield blindfolded, which makes it incredibly difficult for anybody to find their way. But everything should start with a plan, and I'm a firm believer. I know it's cliche, but the age-old saying of fail to plan, plan to fail is extremely kind of pertinent to anybody that's producing a LinkedIn profile. So before you even go out and connect with anybody, put together a business growth connection marketing plan and stick diligently to that plan. Map out your goals for the first month, the first 3 months, the first 6 months, the first 9 months, the first 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. And of course, because LinkedIn is such an organic beast and it's evolving and changing on a daily basis, you need to retain an element of flexibility around this business growth marketing plan that you have to be able to cope with the changes. For example, it used to be that LinkedIn would make changes every 2 to 3 months. Now, LinkedIn are making changes on a weekly basis, sometimes twice a week. So your plan has to factor in for elements of flexibility. So it's great to have a robust plan, but you do need to allow for that flexibility.
Okay.
Next thing is, go back to what we talked about just before, which is quality. LinkedIn, over 400 million business interested members. Everything and everyone you need to grow your business, irrespective of how niche sector your business is or where it's geographically located worldwide, everything and everyone you need to grow your business or to generate revenue or to identify opportunities exists on LinkedIn. You just need a little bit of help and support, like most business owners.